Alright, just testing the mic before we get started. That was the problem that led to the delay. Alright, let me turn that up a little bit. How's this sound? Alright, how about this? Okay, that's perfect. Alright, we'll get started in a second. Hang on. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, apologies for the delay. I am not actually sure what caused this to suddenly work, but it worked, so whatever. Alright, so Nintendo World Cup was done for the 1990 World Cup, and it does not have all of the teams, of course. And a couple World Cups from now, I think there's going to be 400 countries in the World Cup. It's kind of ridiculous, but so you got U.S., Holland, Japan, France, Cameroon, Russia, Mexico, Italy, Argentina, West Germany, Brazil, Spain, and England. So let's play as the U.S. and we play Cameroon in our first match. So, of course, it's not 11 on 11, and so you can kind of pick your strategy. So, I like dribbling. Keep your goalkeeper back, because he'll kind of float away too much sometimes, and we want to try to tackle. Okay, so you'll notice this game is made by Technos, who also made River City Ransom, and you'll see some very similar character models. And I did not mean to do that, but okay. No! And put it in, put it in, put it in. A lot of the goals you're going to score are going to be on rebounds. And you can side tackle a lot. And missed. Where am I? Oh. And you'll notice one of Cameron's players was real slow to get up. Eventually, people get hurt in this game. And you can do some pretty cool bicycle kicks, too. Put it in, put it in. No, 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 no. There we go. I actually kind of didn't mean to do that, but sure. Actually, hold on a second. I gotta prop up my mic a little more. Hold on. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so eventually what happens is players run out of health and they'll kind of crash out. I was trying to bicycle kick it right there. No! No! Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. And so you can do some pretty cool goals in this game. Oh, jeez. Goalkeepers will make some pretty cool saves. Well, you want to move around. Yeah, keeper's gonna get that. Just like in FIFA, it's gonna go to the keeper. So, the one problem with this game, though, it's kind of fun, but it gets old kind of quick. And so, right about this time, there were a couple other soccer games as well. There was, no, I didn't want you to do that. Pass to me. Pass to me. There was Goal, which was pretty cool back then, but I checked it out a couple months ago when I was first starting to think about the stream, and it's not good. It's hard to play. And it probably was back then too, and you just kind of didn't notice it. 5-0. Last time I played, Cameroon beat me 2-1, so. And so you can change your strategy at halftime if you really wanted to, which is kind of cool. And so everybody gets back up at halftime. And you can commit fouls. It just doesn't happen that often. No. And, you know, in real life, that's probably a penalty. Not in this game. And Cameroon were the team that opened up the 1990 World Cup by beating Argentina, which was this massive, massive upset at the time, and was really kind of the day that I really took note of soccer outside of being this thing that kids in my town that mostly were jerks played. That there was like a, you know, bigger, brighter, you know, world attached to it. Outside of having heard about the Hillsborough disaster, because a student in my school had been from England and had talked about it. There's a really good, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff about Hillsborough out there, but there's a, you know, pretty accessible ESPN documentary from a couple years ago, I guess, now. Oh. And so, yeah, that was kind of where we all started picking clubs to support, and for a variety of reasons in my neighborhood. Some people pick them based on, you know, what they'd read about the clubs, and some people pick them because of kind of nationalities. Like, you know, there's this kid in my neighborhood who was German, so he picked Bayern Munich to support. There's another kid that picked Liverpool. Yeah, so once their players kind of start going down, this isn't as fun, but yeah, so I mean, there was the original NES Soccer, there was Goal, there were a couple games on the Super Nintendo as well. There's one whose name escapes me right now that was like a kind of a like that fake 3D. Um, that where you kind of looked forward at the screen. I forget what it's called. And then FIFA was not. I don't think it was on the Super Nintendo. It was on the Genesis. I do remember there being a FIFA game on the Genesis. That wasn't that good. FIFA really, honestly, didn't get that good until like the PlayStation N64 era. The N64 one with the indoor mode was pretty awesome. Yeah, and it's not quite as easy as just putting in the rebound either. Yeah, I swear you can get foul called. You're just not seeing it. And the AI isn't that good, so they just kind of kick the ball down the field. Yeah, that indoor mode. I wish they'd bring that back. I mean, FIFA Street is sort of like that, but it's in like 98, 99. And those games didn't even play that well, but they were better than nothing. I don't think FIFA really played that great until about, I don't know, like 5 years ago, maybe? And now it's pretty much embraced that it's an arcade game that just kind of sim stuff. Alright, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Alright, I just want to check the mic again. Alright, I just want to check the mic again. Okay, sounds good. Perfect. Okay. Alright, I just want to make sure. Yeah, like I was saying, I had some trouble. Like, capture card wouldn't pick up my mic. And I rebooted a couple times, and it still wouldn't pick it up. And I don't know what I did, but suddenly it was working. So, um, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'll have to mess around with it a little bit. So now we're playing Japan. And you'll recognize some of these character models from River City Ransom again. Which at the time, that was like super cool. Because they're also in another game that we should probably stream at some point, Super Dodgeball. Which there was in one of the more recent, I guess the most recent River City Ransom game, there was a dodgeball mode as a like a bonus. Oh yeah, shoulder block him. I'm just gonna run up here, and you can just kind of, there's no offside rule, so you can just kind of go up here. And I don't think that actually hit my foot, but the animation was weird if it did. And we did a River City Ransom stream like a month ago, I think. I think it was still during the school year. I think so. Oh yeah, so Japan Strikers out. So pass me the ball, and yeah. I don't know if the kick detection. I guess it's pretty loose. There we go. Yeah. Last time I played, these first couple games were pretty hard. They've been pretty easy so far. Yeah, you can bash the ball against your own players. Yeah. I own this, but this was definitely a game where you should probably rent it and beat it, and then probably never think about it again. We owned it, and I want to say we got it used. I think this was one of the games that we bought. There was a store that was going out in our town, so they're getting rid of everything. And I think I bought it. In the early 90s when, game stores started going, rental stores started dying. I mean, the town I grew up in didn't even have a Blockbuster, but still, there were like 3 stores though in the town, so eventually something had to give. And then next town over, there was one as well. That was where I used to get my Sega games, because they'd always have them right away. Which was pretty cool. And then in the town, I mentioned this on our Castlevania 3 episode, the town where the ShopRite was and where the church that we got like communion at and all was like right down the street, St. Teresa's. There was a game store there too. That it was where once in a while we get a game, and actually ShopRite rented games. The ShopRite in the town my parents now live in, where I grew, I spent my teen years, rented games. I don't know when they finished, but I remember that was the first place I ever saw Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and I had no idea that there was a new Final Fantasy game, and it's sort of a Final Fantasy game, it turns out. That's a game we should do at some point on the podcast. It has a good soundtrack. One of the many RPGs we'll get to eventually. Probably not this year, but maybe in 2019. Oh, nice save. Yeah, once you knock out their striker, they're pretty weak. Yeah. Yeah, so this isn't really that fun. Um, we'll play one more half. And then everybody go watch a really crappy opening match between two countries that have terrible soccer teams and really awful human rights records. Well, so does America, but we suck, so we're not there. I'm actually going to be in class during the match. But yeah, it's a pretty bad match. Russia's not good, and Saudi Arabia's not either. Russia's got a couple decent players, but that's about it. And their league isn't that great. There was a time, once upon a time, where it kind of was. I wish you could make the quarters, or halves, I guess, less. Because we're kind of brutalizing them here. And it's going to roll in, yes. And then, yeah, Friday, I think there's like 3 matches, and then Saturday I think there's 4, and then I am actually going out at night on Saturday, and of course tomorrow night, because tomorrow night is Rift Tracks, and it is your duty as a Giraffe fan to go see Rift Tracks tomorrow night, because we will not be streaming. Can't wait. Oh, that was kind of a brutal tackle. I swear, I've had fouls called. I'm just not sure how it happens. I think this game is funner in 2-player mode. Yeah, pass on the ground. No, don't do that. I'd be curious how much the people who programmed this game played soccer, knew soccer outside of kind of the basics, because it's kind of weirdly constructed here. So a lot of sports games from the NES era have not held up very well. We should do an episode about baseball games, because there were a whole ton of them. Besides Baseball Stars, which is incredible. But like RBI Baseball, which is kind of not playable very well nowadays. Like, there are things in it that you tolerated back then because you just tolerated it, and now it's like, I don't understand why this is like this. Or Major League Baseball, which actually, that was one of the first games I got. It's pretty bad, and Bases Loaded, which has a kind of a cool concept, but kind of sucks. I never finished the season of Bases Loaded. I tried a couple times during the 90s. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna play every day. I'll play a game, and I'd get like 20 games into the season and just get really bored. It's just too long. Now, MVP 04 on the PlayStation, I played 162 games of that. Because that game ruled. Nothing, jeez. There's not like a hard or easy mode in this. When I booted this up a couple weeks ago, I lost against Cameroon. Oh, whoa, that was cool. Let's go run out the clock in the corner. What's cool though is if it's close at the end, you can just kind of keep lobbing the ball down and scoring. 13, jeez. So next week's schedule is going to be our usual Lost Sphere, Phantasy Star, Final Fantasy 9. Plus on Wednesday night we're going to be playing Super Pitfall on the NES. So hopefully my capture card issues are fixed for Lost Sphere on Monday. God, I wish the Switch would have streaming built in. When they start the online, that'd be nice to have that. Although you'd figure at E3 they would have announced that, which they absolutely did not. So, alright, well, this is like, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. Thanks for dropping by, people who did. I know there were a couple people in the chat. And it's 38 minutes. Okay. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by. And, remember, tomorrow night, no stream. Go see Riff Tracks. And, yeah, talk soon.